Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Old Man Liver Show. We call it What's What. It's where I get to say whatever the fuck I want and have whoever fucking guest that I want to have on my show. So today I would like to welcome, we got Chris Heers and Seth Turner of High Blue Cactus in the studio. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Fuck you, everybody.
Hey, wait, we know there's no cursing allowed on this show.
It's good to be.
Only you.
It's a family show. So, try to watch your language. No porn terms.
My fault.
None of that.
No, I'm just kidding. Only porn terms, because that's all I know. So,
Well, I learned a lot about porn from one of your recent episodes, so that's why I'm here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only interview police officers and firemen. So, or at least they're dressed that way, but they might be in porn. I don't know.
The ones that arrested you, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I try to tell some of my previous arrest stories. I did graduate from Angola, so there is that. But
I spent a week there.
Yeah, we all have. I mean,
I don't want to talk about it.
I think we have it. Well, let's talk about.
Isn't that like the Mexican drive-through, or what is that?
No, we call it the farm. That's what we call it on the inside.
Yeah, okay.
It's technically Louisiana State Penitentiary, Angola.
Yeah.
Right outside of San
we can
Francisville.
cuss, man. This is cool.
Yeah, no,
and it's 11:11.
You can go fuck, shit, pussy, cunt, dick, pit,
What?
cleesh, cracker,
Cleesh.
juker,
What?
kank.
Wait, let's back up to
Cleesh.
Did y'all not read my fucking book?
I saw one of those.
Y'all have never read my book, have you?
Cleesh? Yes, of
Yeah.
course I read it. I read it right to the end.
Yeah, you know how to read?
Yeah.
I just
fantastic.
thought you didn't know how to say cliche.
No, it's called cleesh.
Cleesh.
For God's
Yeah,
sake.
that's chapter 7, I
A
think,
prostate
was-
is called a sweller.
Right, yes.
There's all you need to reread the glossary first, and then you'll
Yeah.
understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, so Chris,
Speaking of Mexican drive-thrus,
where are you?
sweller the other day.
Tell us about where you're from, Chris.
I am from I'm from Las Vegas. I was born and raised right.
Wow,
in
that's
Las
crazy.
Vegas,
Like,
right? Down the road, really. I mean,
You're just born somewhere like on a
well,
street
I was
corner
born
somewhere?
on Sahara and Decatur, but I was
yeah.
that area. But
There's a lot of hookers in that area, right?
not now, but back in the day.
Yeah.
I was raised out in way south of town. Back out in the desert. And the Pioneer was there, and I didn't even know it was there.
Pioneer Saloon, which High Blue Cactus plays quite often, predates all of us, as old as we may be.
We do. We try to we play as much as we can. That's our home.
Yeah, I mean, the key thing is they always say, hang out with people older than you and you'll always feel young. You can always go to the Pioneer and feel young, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's one of the
exactly
benefits.
right,
But yeah, so what got you into music?
Well, back then, there was like this town. In fact, I was just in Phoenix over the weekend, and there was, you look out over the desert in Phoenix and you don't see any casinos. It was almost made me
Weird.
homesick. There's like, you're in this old, and there's a lot of creosote, and it's like kind of more like, I don't know, like swampy, like wet desert kind of thing. And that's how Vegas was back then. It was really, you look out and there was, you didn't have a ton of high rises. You just had like open desert, and we had horses, and we lived on the outskirts of town where we were actually, like southeastern, maybe like eastern and Windmill area.
Nice.
That end of town. I was more by the Strip. My cousin Troy was over by Eastern, but we'd ride our horses all over town, and so I was into horses and listen to country music. And there was this radio station called KFM 102, and they played all like Don Williams and George Strait and everything. And that's kind of how I got into it. Just hanging around a bunch of cowboys. And
Did you grow up with the old like George Jones, George Strait, Willie Nelson?
Willie. I used to wear Willie Nelson T-shirts in high school with a pair of camouflage pants. And my prom date, she was not into me. She married my buddy. And but I was country. I was country when country was not cool. It was not cool at all. And that's how I got into it. Just listening to country music and trying to learn how who wrote these songs. And
That's awesome. So how old were you when you started playing guitar?
I was pretty old. I took some lessons when I was young, but then like really young, just a couple at Aldepalis Music, which one of the great music stores, along with the drum shop and Vesley's and everything. But I started playing. I went to Europe when I was in college. I did like a student exchange thing, and there was this kid named Brian Kramer, and he was from Long Island. And he was jonesing for a guitar. He was just jonesing for it. He said, "Man, I wish I had my guitar. We're on this bus and everybody's singing. I'm singing American Pie. And, and so we got him a guitar. And then he's, now we're walking all over Germany, all over Europe, drinking beer and playing, and he's playing music and I'm singing, and that's when I got the bug.
Yeah, nice.
I
Now you're
remember-
not talking about a social disease, are you?
It was I got several bugs over there, but
Yeah, because back then there were these things called crabs. You had to watch out for that shit back when people had pubic hair.
oh yeah, crabs. God, yeah. I never had. Actually, I never.
Well, you
I never had
even
crabs.
had lobsters, didn't you?
I never had.
You had the bigger kind, like the king crab.
I never had. I've avoided crabs. I don't know how.
That's
but
amazing,
did,
because I know
how
the
do you
amount of
protect
people
yourself
that you've
against
canked.
crabs? I mean, there's no, like you can't like put on a condom or anything. It's like crabs.
No, I mean that's
they're
an
running
achievement.
around.
Just the amount of people I know you've canked just since I've met you shocks me that
I've
you've never
cleached.
had. No, you canked.
I can't.
Never mind. Fuck's sake, Seth.
I canked her.
where are you from originally, Seth?
I am from Custer, South Dakota.
Oh, it's a big metropolis.
Yeah,
sounds like.
there's been 1,900 people lived there for about, I don't know, 1,900 years or so.
It's bigger than Good Springs.
Yeah, it's considerably bigger than Good Springs.
That's
yes.
amazing. How'd you get into music?
Genetics mostly. My mother's side of the family all sang, and my father's blood all played music, and so it honestly happened on accident. I didn't really know I could sing until, I don't know, my sophomore, junior year of high school, and I was singing along with the radio. I mean, I always did sing, but I didn't know I was any good at it, and I didn't honestly. It wasn't even a thought in my head to wonder if I was any good at it. And somebody said I was good one time, and the choir director said, "Hey, I want you to take choir." I'm like, "Easy A, let's do it." And by the end of the year, this is funny. I didn't realize this was going to happen, but I actually lettered in choir. I don't know how
What
that's
school
a thing.
does lettering and choir?
I had a chance.
Our school had athletic and academic letters, and I lettered in choir, and I'm like, oh. And so the choir director said, "Hey, I'm putting on a music show this summer with a couple other guys." His name was By Wilcox, and then Roy Hendrickson and Chan Forsman. They were together on this music show, and Custer's in the Black Hills, 20 minutes from Mount Rushmore, 5 minutes from Crazy Horse, the Custer State Park, Wind Cave, Jewel Cave, just and it's the Black Hills, which are absolutely beautiful anyway. So lots of tourist stuff going on, and he said, "I want you to audition for the other guys," and I did with a Kentucky Headhunters tune, and all of a sudden I went out on the stage for the first time and terrified. And then I had a standing ovation. I'm like,
wow. So that Easy A turned into a whole career for you.
Yeah, it turned into a whole career for me.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Now, since you were so close to Mount Rushmore, did you ever go over there and do acid and mushrooms and talk to the founding fathers?
I did some peyote and talked to the real founding fathers, yes.
Oh, shit. The real guys. Okay.
You really
Yeah.
did peyote? I never done that.
No, I've never done peyote. Who the fuck you talking to?
Well, yeah.
It's an early. There's time.
Yeah. So, Chris, do you partake in the occasional drug?
No. My life insurance company said I don't.
Oh, shit. Then maybe. And if my life insurance company is watching, I've never tried marijuana or cocaine or LSD 25 or PCP or Dusty Rollers or Decadurabolin or. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I do.
I don't do drugs either.
I like shrooms, though.
Shrooms,
are
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
cool. I've discovered microdosing. It's kind of.
It's
very cool.
I stick solely to macrodosing.
Yeah, macro. I do macro, but macro is really more for like a spiritual thing. I don't really have a lot of fun on it, actually. But
Yeah?
micro is really fun. I mean, you can just. It's really
Does it
super-
enhance kanking for you? Or?
It's more of a what do you call it? Cleach?
Cleach?
Cleach. No. Yeah. It just kind of makes everything kind of vivid. Like we were recording in the house the other week, and I put this video. I think I put it on YouTube already, and it's just me walking around with my camera, looking at things the way I would see them on a microdose.
Oh, weird.
And
He didn't microdose the phone. He
Nobody
just
else was
microdosed himself,
microdosing.
so
Yeah.
nobody else knows what
I
he
wasn't
saw.
drinking. I wasn't drinking. I was doing dry January, so everybody else was drinking and
Yeah, I
playing,
hate
and I'm
dry
just walking
January.
around on this thing, this microdose. It was fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dry January. So you partake in that
I
bullshit?
I
think
did
it's a-
dry January and a
thank you.
half.
Thank you,
man.
Seth.
I lost 12 pounds, and then I had one beer, and
See, that's the problem. That's why you should never stop.
I know.
Because once you do, then it really exacerbates the next time.
Don't be an alcoholic, and you can drink all January. That's all I'm
no,
saying.
it's the only way I
Yeah.
can lose weight, man.
Like I don't believe in mocktails or any of that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
if
Like,
you're gonna do it,
it's
just
just
drink
it's
some
disgusting.
club soda
Like
and some-
it's kind of offensive to me, to be honest.
yeah.
But yeah, there's a
You
whole
know, I
movement.
was there in spirit.
No,
I was there in spirit.
How can you not? How can you have mimosa Sunday in January without alcohol?
yeah,
Right.
then it's just orange juice.
Then it's just orange. Then it's just
Then
breakfast.
it's just breakfast. Yeah, fuck that. So yeah, that's ridiculous. But let's talk about the current status of the music industry right now, because is there?
Can we talk about something like less divisive, like I don't know, politics?
or abortion or guns or
Yeah,
something
just-
like that? Yeah.
Anything other than the shitty state of affairs in the
it's,
music industry?
I mean, here's a question for you. I know because you just recorded a new album, or you're recording one in Nashville, right?
Yeah, it's done. It's going to the mastering stage right
Awesome.
now.
Do you have a title for it yet?
It's going to be called.
Microdosing through my eyes.
In my sexual.
It's going to be called
Sweller.
New Freedom Grin.
Oh, cool,
New
man.
Freedom. That's a line from one of the songs.
Oh, neat.
There's this old man that escapes from a old folks' home, and he's got his thumb in the air with a new freedom grin.
Oh, I dig it.
And I don't think anybody's ever come up with that title. So I
thought you were gonna go a
I mean, because
little-
Bruce Springsteen stole my last, my Western Stars title, and we got litigation going.
that was
on.
rude. Yeah.
He
I told him I
he
would
basically
settle.
stole the album cover.
The cover is very strikingly similar.
What the fuck, man?
And I said, I want a case of Pabst, and I'll settle. Right.
Yeah.
But
And,
so
he's
far
not going-
nothing.
he's
I got
not willing
crickets.
to-
He's not.
No response.
just digging in, huh?
I said,
he's
get in the van,
and I'm a
right?
fan. I'm a huge fan of the boss, and I'm flattered that So this one totally different. No one's going to steal New Freedom Grin
Okay, yeah.
unless
that's
Bruce,
hard to even
unless Bruce is watching.
say.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
um,
and so you're still recording music, but is there any money in music these days?
There's money in playing live. There's money in getting your songs placed on movies, TV, things like that, video games. There's money in merchandise and touring and stuff. But there's no money really in I just got back from Nashville with my buddy Sammy, and we're talking to some heavy cats, number one songwriters. And this guy, this guy, we wrote a song with him, and he's like, yeah, I'm playing in this tribute band, and I didn't go to Music Row and write because, you have to get such a mega hit to make any money off of radio now. It's got to
Right.
be one of those 100 songs that just nails it. Other than that, Spotify is and there's Spotify for guys like me and Seth is honestly we're on the same exact playing field as a guy like Bruce Springsteen now.
So there's some benefits.
There
to
are
it.
some benefits, but no one's really getting paid any money. I got $100 the other day, and that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way because I had someone even recently talk to me, and they go, they were feeling sorry for me being a guitar player, going, there's no money in that because the record companies make all the money. And I said, actually, I own a record company.
Yeah, there's no
and there's no money there either.
There's no
It's
money
the
for
tech
any-
companies that are making
Yeah.
the Amazons and Apples and Spotify's.
They're
and
making all the
So it's
money.
like, if you want to, and they're all public companies, you can
Yeah.
invest in them if you want to partake in actually
Yeah.
making money in the music industry. But there's nothing in the fucking download shit.
No.
Well,
If you there's money in downloads. If like for example, if you download Seth's a new single or whatever, he's going to get probably 99 cents or 80 cents. Or something. If you actually download, but nobody downloads.
it's all technically rentals,
Right.
if you have a subscription.
Well, and that's the rub right there. That's the problem is that radio created the listener. Radio also gave it away for free, and then but it used to be they'd play this hot track, they'd play this hot record, this hot single, and people go out and buy it. But somewhere, right about the time of Napster, when people figured out they could just go to a place and download it, they didn't have to pay for it. Who doesn't want to save money? I'm all about saving money. And the first time it ever really hit me what it was I was at a show and a woman bought my CD, and her friend, oh, I don't have any cash. And the woman right in front of me said, don't worry, I'll burn you a copy. And I just reached out, took my CD, handed her $10 back, And she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "You are stealing from me, and you're blatantly doing it in front of me." And she was like, "No, I'm not. I bought the CD." I said, "No, you bought this CD. You didn't buy 45 others that you could give out to people." And so now we have this culture where people are happy to, sometimes 3-4 times a day go pay $5 for a cup of coffee. But it's like pulling teeth to get them to spend 99 cents to download a song, because you have Pandora, you have Spotify, you have the Amazon, you have all these online places where they can pay $9.99 a month and get whatever song they want.
Yeah.
And we get paid for that. We do get paid for that. We get paid 0.004 cents per play. So basically, if you want to help me out, put it on, play it for a month, and I might be able to go get one of those fucking cups of coffee at the end of that
that's
month.
the goal, man. That's a cup of coffee is the new rich and famous.
Yeah,
right.
Just forego 1 cup of coffee, and go buy somebody's album.
Yeah.
Then it's yours.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Now, do y'all have to, do you do vinyl now when you release new albums too, now that it's become trendy again?
I have not, and the only reason I have not is because they cost about $25 per album, per record.
Oh, yeah.
It's not cheap.
I'm gonna do a short run of all 3 of my albums. In fact, I just got the guy that's mastering my new album. He mastered my second album, and the guy that mastered my first album, Hank Williams, his company folded, or I think he passed away. And so I got him my masters. He's got all 3 of my albums now. So I want to do like a short run of all vinyl, just like a short run.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I can sell some, and then I'll have some, and if the world ends, this is how narcissistic we are,
Yeah.
you can always get one of those things, and you can just play.
So you can still listen
walk
to music?
around and go.
Well, yeah, one of those things.
Right?
Like,
Is that what a cliche is?
that's kind of. He was talking about master. I thought he was going to get into masturbation.
I was talking to my
for a
friend
second there.
Jeff Mix, and he's like, "Man, I just hope the world doesn't end before our new albums are out." I'm like, I think I said that. He goes, "Yeah, that's how screwed up we are."
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I always say that and the day after I die, they're going to come out with a pill that makes you young again.
Right, yeah.
That's just how my fucking luck works. But I've learned to live with it and move on. But
That all you can do is just, what is it in the Shawshank Redemption? Just there was that line: keep putting one foot in front of the other, and something like that.
so you did read my book about that.
I did. That was in chapter 8.
Because that was chapter 8. Yeah,
It was fantastic.
It's part of the 10.
I have it in the van right now.
The 10 Commandments to
In fact, I
great
read it
cake
on the way over when I was.
Oh,
stuck
did you
in the
read
airport
it?
tunnel.
That's
Yeah,
that's
just reading
safe.
that.
I've heard they recommend reading and talking on the phone and playing with the radio, all while you drive.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's a given. So you guys are like, now of all the tunes you've written yourselves, what's your favorite of each of your songs?
My favorite assess is Some Good, Some Bad, and Some In Between, which is a wonderful song about,
Or Some I'll Never Tell.
Some I'll Never Tell. Yeah, it's about like a war veteran kind of thing.
Oh, neat.
And I love singing harmony on that one. That's gotta be my favorite for years.
That's cool.
My favorite of Chris's, man, it's really hard because, he can take a subject that you wouldn't think would make a great song and turn it into a great song.
Make it something you want to touch yourself to.
I try not to touch myself when I'm thinking about Chris, but there's times I end up, he just pops in. Uninvited. It's gross.
Yeah.
And then it just kills the mood. But no, he has a song. I went through a divorce when The Road Ahead Shines came out, his second album, and I burned a hole through two of those because I just listened to it nonstop. Because the whole album to me was about hope. It was about there's better things coming. Life is going to get better, and so and it kept me grounded. It kept me, moving forward like I needed to be moving forward. And so, there's one album. It's the last song on the album, and it's called "The Cactus." And it's I don't know if he was on. I don't know if you were on acid when you wrote this song.
I think I was on Doers
or what. But it's just the metaphor it is, and most of the time Chris is kind of like he's kind of a Monet. he puts little
Gross.
brush strokes on
Oh,
the canvas.
the painter.
Identify as a
Yeah.
Monet.
Oh, got it.
He puts
Not a
these
biological
little
Monet.
I see.
or a cliche. And like I compare his music to Impressionism, because when you listen to it, you're like, what? But then when you step back and listen to it, you're like, oh.
And you're like, oh, what? The
You're
fuck?
like, I totally get it. So the cactus,
Cool.
the cactus is my favorite of his,
That's
because
awesome.
I resonated. That one resonated most with me.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
thanks, buddy.
Well, that's cool. And I got to tell the audience, like, Seth and Chris are amazing on their own. They all have their own solo projects and such. But you have this kick-ass conglomerate group
Yeah.
called High Blue Cactus.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name of that? Band?
High Blue Cactus is actually a line from the song Pony Express.
He cliched me.
gross.
Yeah, actually,
Wait.
you came up with it.
No, I didn't. You came up with it.
I think it was one of many that were.
No, it was so basically when we first the High Blue Cactus came to be because there was Chris Heers and the Dirt Rich Band, there was Seth Turner and the High Desert Drifters, and then we would go out to Jack's place in Boulder City on Tuesday nights and do a little song swap, and so eventually members of our respective bands started showing up. And so all of a sudden we had this whole new band of a 5-piece, of Carl, KR, Danny, Chris, and I. And so we started calling that Heers Turner Overdrive or Heers Turner Oversized,
because of
depending on
a
who.
duo pay that turned into like a 6-piece,
Yeah.
which is our normal business model now, by the way.
Okay.
And so I told him one time, I said, the greatest thing I think we could do is combine both of these bands into one band. Like the old 70s rock bands, 2 drummers up on risers. We have a piano player that plays saxophone. We have a steel guitar player. You've yet to see the full band in all its
Yeah, I can't
glory.
wait.
Yeah, it's like 12 of us, man.
Yeah, there's 8 of us total,
8 of us.
and 7 people who sing. The harmonies are just, you've heard our
Oh, yeah,
harmonies,
they're fucking phenomenal.
And even Don Henley and Glenn Fry would be like, damn.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fucking amazing. I will attest to that.
That's our strong point.
And
Yeah,
so,
the
but
harmonies.
at one point, I looked at Chris and I said, I don't. There's so much talent in this band. I don't want to be out in front of it. I don't want it to be Heers Turner. I just want a band name that is just the band.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys in the band, they deserve that. They shouldn't have to be
Well,
side
Danny
guys.
Sanderson he had Stetson, which is they owned the country band. They were the biggest country band in Vegas in like the 90s, and he's in the band and he writes, and he's one of
Amazing.
the third writer in the band, and so it's like here's Turner, but then the other guys.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
KR is the
fucking
best
super
singer
talented.
probably I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, and he's the
KR's
drummer
like-
back there, fucking cranking out some tunes.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
so I mean, these guys are all everybody in the band is a great singer.
Well, I get why you want to have 8 people, a lot of people in the band, because had you read my book and read the chapter on sevensomes, it's
Yeah.
kind of like masturbating's fun, but it's more fun than doing it with somebody. And then a threesome is great, but a sevensome is ideal, right? So you guys are kind of going in that direction, but musically instead of sexually.
Yes.
Yeah, see that? Yeah,
The short answer is yes.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So that's
So when we're searching for names, we'll wrap this up quickly. When we were searching for names, because of my affinity for the cactus, I said, "Hey, actually, it was my buddy in Texas,
so it goes back to his song, The Cactus.
yeah,
No, actually, well, yes and no. The line actually, the High Blue Cactus is in a song called Pony Express. But
gotcha.
but then the cactus is kind of like our thing. The cactus and lightning.
So you have a
bolts
whole
are-
cacti theme going on
That's
in
our
your
thing.
lives.
And that kind of also ties into my favorite movie, The Natural, where the cactus and the lightning bolt hits the baseball, and then we got the baseball thing. So we got like the cactus lightning bolt is our
you really do love football.
Well, I even hear you have
I love it.
you've somehow finagled your way into having a High Blue Cactus burger at my restaurant.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you con Or
And a margarita, I believe.
a margarita. So you got a margarita and I think even a shake or something. And
we got the shake.
Nice way to pull that off. I don't even have
The roadie
actually,
shake.
I do have my own
the
burger.
roadie shake from Evan.
You have your own whiskey. I don't have a High Blue Cactus whiskey.
That's true. And their burger, for the record, does have cactus in it. So it what do they call it? Nogales or something? technical?
Nopales.
Nopales,
Yeah.
thank you.
And it's good.
Nogales
It's
is
fantastic.
is a town in Mexico.
Yeah.
But it's the fucking burger. It fits perfect out there in the desert. A restaurant that's in the
Blue
middle of
cheese
nowhere.
crumbles.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, a little
I
blue.
love it.
I like how
Blue
y'all
cheese
tied
crumbles.
Oh,
the
man.
blue cheese. You got the blue and the cacti.
The blue cheese and the pickled cactus. It just
and the
works.
high.
It
The high you
works.
work. You throw a little weed on there.
Well,
we haven't
peyote
told
should be
anybody
in it.
there's weed on there.
Okay, yeah. So don't tell anyone.
Don't.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because
That's right. It's got a whole layer of
the
Rick
health
Simpson
department
oil on the
prefers you
top.
not to tell people what's in the food, and especially federally illegal substances.
Well, listen. For recreational use, it's legal here. So we're fine. We're covered, but under the law.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's
Yeah. Personal use.
because I care so much about following the law to the T. That I'm
You
glad
are a
you guys.
model for that.
I am. Yeah. So before we get, we're going to get High Blue Cactus to play a tune here in a minute. But before we get to that, my birthday was the other day, and Chris was nice enough to. Well, Seth brought me a nice present too. It says, "If found dead, delete my browser history." Although in my case, I'm actually kind of proud of my browser history. I mean, you'd be.
Yeah.
And because it's not just one thing.
Yeah,
it's
no.
YouPorn, it's PornTube, it's XNXX, it's XHamster, it's
haven't heard of those.
Pornhub, it's RedTube.
Wait, can I get a pen, paper?
Yeah, you might want to write that down.
tell you-
So,
I'll
but
tell you later.
I have a variety of internet sites on my browser. So I'm proud of my history.
Do
If I
you,
die,
have a VPN?
no, I prefer the police just to know exactly where to find me.
It wasn't just.
Because it's going to hurt your gubernatorial career.
I think it'll help it.
You
I mean,
think?
these
It might
days
actually,
it
you know
seems to
what?
actually.
Listen.
Man of the people.
I think the bigger prick you are, the easier chance you have of getting elected.
Well,
Also, the reason for our cactus affinity.
It wasn't.
Great, good tie-in with
Nice.
the cacti
Thank you.
attraction.
Well, and I that's right. I have said he's high, I'm blue, and the rest of these pricks are the cactus.
Nice. I love that.
It wasn't just a patch though.
No, I knew. Oh, and
Yeah,
we
and
went through the trouble of
that's
getting me
right,
this
yes.
pick that's signed by none other than Chris Heers.
Yeah, and
I mean-
that's the rare Texaco logo for Heers Turner.
Oh,
oversized
so
right
this is
there,
even
yeah.
that doesn't
extra
exist
special.
anymore.
And no, we got
Wow, so
we
this
got
is a
sued by
collector's item.
Texaco when they saw that they
Just so you know, he charges $75 for autographs, so you could probably
you could sell that pic on
probably
eBay right
flip
now
that,
for-
right?
Yeah,
probably
if anybody wants it, I mean, if I were to give it this precious thing away, which I would never do, just shoot me a direct email and give me a bid.
Yeah, you could actually put that in one of the auctions or something.
Yeah, you could put it
I
in
might
the
put it in my
press fest.
bunghole.
Yeah, maybe we'll or that
I'm just saying.
you could cleash it.
That is not the proper use of cleave.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That's going to be my new,
We're
my new
just
Smurf term.
gonna keep trying until we get it right, so we know what it
I'm
means.
just we're gonna keep digressing until we actually progress, right?
So I wrapped that myself, by the way.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, clearly you
No.
had it professionally wrapped.
No, I
and-
did that on my own.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did this.
Yeah, no.
With the Christmas
It took a
paper,
while.
even though
Should,
it's
should I
after-
tell him what I get for my birthday every year, or should
Sure.
I wait for him to open that first?
oh gross.
There's actually gifts in. I think there's some gifts. There's like a two-parter, I think, on that
Let
one.
me see. Oh shit!
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the second. That's the first part right there.
Oh, it's a walnut.
Yeah, it's two walnuts.
Oh, two nuts. Okay.
Yes. It's at the tail end of the box, but try those out. I only have two left myself.
Okay.
So.
Wow, this is fantastic. It's you see, we're all seeing this
Be careful,
real
that
time.
thing's fragile. There's some
Oh
glass in there.
shit! Wow, this is
Right?
to Old Man Liver in the Pioneer Saloon with every good wish. Chris Heers. What the fuck? Who is that? What in the holy fuck?
Hey, that's the kid who got his ass kicked in the Christmas Story.
That is the
It does look like that kid.
This is
Scott Farkas.
Was this your headshot?
I found a
early
box.
80s?
I found a box of headshots. I was 19 years old, I think. In that
God,
shot.
man,
and I found a box like a couple years ago, and I stumbled on it the other day, and I thought, oh man, I got to get something for Old Man Liver, and I thought, perfect.
I got brand new masturbation material.
I pulled my
now.
business license out of that frame, and that's yours
That
now.
is, this is beautiful. I will cherish
Yeah.
this. So,
It's all good. It's
I
fine.
just want to give a shout out to Laura Chan, who's a fan of all of ours, and she got me this shirt for my birthday the other day too.
That's a great looking shirt.
Thanks,
It looks
honey.
good on you though.
Thanks, honey chunks. So we're gonna get these cactus loving freaks to do a song for us. So
Oh.
you mind?
Yeah, let's do that.
Grabbing
What do you
guitar
wanna do?
and
You want to do the cactus?
yeah, let's do. We've been talking cactus for 30 minutes.
I
Let's,
mean, we set it up.
yeah, like
right. You did.
we've spent like an hour and a half talking about cacti, so we
right,
might as
well,
well play a song about it for fuck's sake.
Well, they're important to us.
Let's see. Let's get the.
Yeah,
old
no,
lady out
clearly they've done you right. So,
here. All right. Let's see.
all right, yeah, well,
You're gonna sing it.
I'll
so
help out.
I'll just play
Yeah.
it. Let me put the mic on the guitar. Is what we'll do.
No, just
Something like that. No.
just all you folks at home, just remember that Chris wrote this song, and he didn't know it when he wrote it, but he wrote it for me to sing it because I love this song.
Let me tune her up real quick.
That'd be useful.
Talk amongst yourselves. Let me see.
yeah. So Seth, are you married or have a family or?
I am not married, but I am in a what do they call that? A domestic partnership.
Is that with a male or female or in between?
Female.
Okay.
Definitely
beautiful.
female. And very, very.
tune.
I definitely outkicked my coverage when I found this one, and she's actually from South Dakota as well. And yes, I'm a father of 5 children.
I know at least one of them I've seen play as a musician. Pretty
Yeah, we don't
phenomenal.
talk about him.
Yeah,
He steals enough thunder. He's not here right now.
He's
to
actually
steal it.
talented.
Look, he's stealing it, and he's not even in the room.
I know.
Right? What the
I
fuck,
know, man?
Come on, Chris.
What would- now, how
we're gonna
did-
make
how does
t-shirts.
your-
We're gonna sell Wyatt merch. Got a whole line of Wyatt merch.
How does your
coming up.
domestic partner handle the groupies and such that come?
I don't have any.
Oh.
I don't.
Is it only Carl?
It's basically Carl and Chris and Danny.
But they just kind of groupie each other, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have
Back-
other people to
Danny grouping me once
fall
in
back
Fresno.
on.
I don't want to talk about.
Back when I was single, we were out on the road, and I checked to see what deodorant Carl used, just in case that really helped me. I tried it; it didn't help me.
No,
It's just
Carl.
It's just Carl.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, cool. Well, are y'all tuned
Yeah,
up?
I'm
Or?
close enough here.
Yeah. And I'll let you get rolling when you're ready.
All right, the cactus. Let me pick it.
Green cactus rises off the sand, stretches out his arms to find the moon. He used to be somebody they called Joe. That was a long time ago. He used to be somebody they called Joe. That was a long way back. Well, he almost made it in, or so he thought. Those pearly gates were shining, they were shut. And an angel with a Rolex took his hand, said, Joe, you're a busy man. Yeah, an angel with a Rolex took his hand, said, Joe, you're such a busy man. And Joe, the life of a cactus, son, well, that's mighty long. The old black crow descends upon his arm, He says, hey, cactus, what's happening? But the cactus don't say nothing, 'cause it can't. It just stands there insane. And night after night after night, he rose 3 long shadows across the land. Oh, and there he stands. Well, something strange started to happen. After a while, that old cactus, well, he got used to standing there. Used to the desert, the occasional coyote, tortoise, rabbit and snake, and all those sounds of the night. And that night, rain cloud descended on that valley, and a thunderclap, and then a lightning strike left him in small pieces on the ground. About 1,000,000 smoldering pieces of cactus. So there he was. He was walking on a cloud, and damn if he weren't a man again. And he looked out, and there was his family, all coming out to greet him. And those gates, well, they were open wide this time.
Wow. I think I just came. That was fantastic, guys. All right. We're going to leave it at that. I don't know how to fucking beat that. That was beautiful. I didn't know if I was crying or coming. I think both.
I've never had a girl come up to me after that song and say, "Hey."
Well,
But
now
still,
you have.
We should do that more often.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
great. That was fantastic.
We're
guys.
glad we could make you cliche.
Thank
right.
you. You didn't make me cliche, but anyway,
It's a
read the
cliche,
fucking book.
actually.
Damn it.
It's a-
Chris Heers, Seth Turner, High Blue Cactus is on fire. They just did a big show in Las Vegas with Scott McCleary. They play regularly at the Pioneer Saloon. Love you guys. We'll give it up. Woo-da! It's what?